What's up? What's up? What's good? You are rocking with the best. It is 6 p.m. on a Monday, and it is Conversations with Comedians on Beltway Radio and beyond. I am your host, Mr. Perspective Doug Bennett, and I am back in the lab. No, I'm for real, man. It's cool, man. It's back in the lab, back in the saddle. It's like the difference between watching a porn and being a part of one. Maybe that was a bad,
that
was a bad example.
Yeah.
But the perverts out there will get it. All right, but
I should have started the show with that.
Yes, you should have. And as always, I am not alone. I'm joined in the lab by my man on the ones and twos. What up, Be Easy? What up?
Hello.
Well, at least he gave us two hellos this time. So things are changing for the better. I told you, y'all prayers will be answered. What's going on, B?
Everything's fine. Just checking, making sure everything's working.
I feel you, man. So we don't run into no hiccups. Man, I am so ready to get this show going, man. We're going to have ourselves a good time. We got ourselves a special guest. Lady Jazz will be joining us from New York. She is a prominent podcaster up there. Conversations with Me is her podcast name. And she is actually a very, very dope podcaster. She talks about a lot of things that's going on in the Black community, how you should be conducting yourselves, everything like that. So she would definitely be joining us around 6:10, 6:15. So, but let's get into some things from this past weekend. The NFL season is back amongst us. And for the first time in a long time, there is excitement in DC. We finally got rid of Daniel Snyder. I think that is a round of applause in itself. But I think my biggest thing now is just trying to figure out where do we go from here? Because
what?
I'm serious, man, because I looked at that joint yesterday, bro, and I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. I do not believe Sam Howell is the future. I don't. And this is the reason why I don't believe Sam Howell is the future. It has nothing to do with his physical attributes. Has nothing to do with his athleticism. You know what it has to do with? His fucking name. Sam Howell.
Oh, I gotta hear this one.
Sam Howell. I want you to think about this, man. Listen at all of the top tier quarterbacks in the league. Listen at their name. Patrick Mahomes. What do they call him? Mahomes boy. Joe Burrow. Burrow into your soul. I just made that shit up. But still, it sounds cool. Trevor Lawrence. Dak. Fuck Dak. Jalen Hurts. Because he gonna put a hurting on it. If y'all use this, remember, send me my 10%. But Sam Howell. I mean, come on, man. That don't even strike fear in the heart of your defense. Today we're playing Patrick Mahomes from the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, shit. We got to get ready. Today we're playing Trevor Lawrence from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh, shit. Today we're playing Sam Howell from the Washington Commanders. The only way his name would work is if this was 1985 and he was a high school kid who found out that he turned into a teen. That's the only way his name will work. Sam Howell. I don't think he's the future. We got to get a quarterback with a cool name, bro.
Okay,
We do.
Okay.
Like Taylor Heineke was a cool name. Taylor made. When we won Super Bowls, Mark Rippon with Rippon. You know what I'm saying? Doug Williams. He was a black dude. You can't get cool with that. Even Joe Theismann. That was a cool name.
Heisman.
Sam Howell. That strike fear in your heart?
I don't care. I'm not a Commanders fan.
You're a Ravens fan. Lamar Jackson. Tell me that ain't a cool name. Action Jackson.
Yeah.
Sam Howell. As in, how in the hell can we get another quarter? We won yesterday.
Barely.
How the hell you say barely? I thought you wasn't a Redskin fan. So you just tune in for our demise, Negro?
No, I saw the score during the ticker thing. I didn't watch the game.
You want to know what's so bad about that game? The Redskins did everything in their power to try and give the game away. It was literally like Arizona and the Redskins were playing hot potato. No, you take it. No, you take it. No, you win. No, you win. It was ridiculous, bro. It was ridiculous. Arizona had a second string quarterback. They literally had bag boys from Weiss out there playing receiver. And the game was still that close.
Mm-hmm. Because it proves the fact that Washington is as much hypeness of this new regime ownership that's happening. You know, it's the whole thing is like what's happening on the field. And I know full well it's like, okay, let's prove it. And against Arizona, you should have whooped their ass based off of this hypeness that you got going on. But when reality showed itself, this is what you got. So,
God, yeah. I'm just tired of this, man. I really and truly am. Do you understand being a Washington fan is like having different stages of cancer?
Oh God.
It's like when you start the season, here's your diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, shit. Then every once in a while, Washington will give you maybe 1, 2, maybe even 3 games in a row, starting to go into remission. Then all of a sudden, you don't need chemo no more because the Redskins or the Commanders look like they're on their way to the playoffs. All of a sudden, they start losing.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're back on chemo. Then they start losing some more. Now you're on dialysis. Then they start losing some more. Now all of a sudden, bro, you can't even get out of bed.
Mm-hmm.
You writing your last will and testament. You got to go to your woman. Listen, I got $300 in the bank. Split that between my mama, you, and my kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? So each one of y'all getting 75 apiece. Like literally, bro. Like that's what it's like with the Reds. But the bad thing about it is when you've been a fan for so long, you can't. It's almost impossible for you to start rooting for somebody else.
Oh, and okay. I got the thing for you. So here's the thing. I left
to an infomercial.
Yes, because here's the thing. And after, some people I've mentioned this, a lot of people. So after the 2001 season, when Snyder fired Marty Schottenheimer, because I was supporting both the Ravens and the Redskins at the time. And no, it wasn't fickle. I was just like, thing is like, I figured it's like, okay, let me try to support both. I got sick and tired of Daniel Snyder's bullshit when he fired Marty Schottenheimer. Right then and there, I was done. That was
the straw that broke the camel's back?
Yep. Because how in the world because if you remember that season, the Skins were 0-5.
Yeah.
And then they went 8-3 the rest of the year. So pretty much it was kind of like everyone was saying, oh, this is kind of like a mirror image of how Joe Gibbs started, because that's how his career started.
Yeah.
And the thing was that the main reason why Snyder got rid of Marty Schottenheimer, because he got rid of all his fancy, shiny toys that he got. Got rid of Dion, got rid of Bruce Smith, got rid of Jeff George. He didn't want that shit.
Yeah, because Dion was like 100 by then.
Right. So he got rid of all these old veteran players, put in some young guys, and they started playing better.
The only good thing about Daniel Snyder is he literally and truly solved. He took money that could have gone to the national deficit and paid black people. It was almost like Daniel Snyder, and this is the reason why I give Daniel Snyder a little bit of props. He did start to pay reparations. Did you see the money that he was handing out? Albert Hainsworth got $100 million.
Yeah, and sat his fat ass somewhere else.
Bruce Smith got more money with the Redskins than he ever did playing for the Bills.
Right.
Deion Sanders at one point in time was like the defensive player of the year.
Mm-hmm.
When Deion came to us, they didn't put Deion back there as a safety because that's the position he played.
Mm-hmm.
No, they put Deion back there because it was so old. This is where you're safe.
Yes.
That's the reason why Deion was playing safety.
Right.
You were no longer prime time, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You were more like Nick at Night.
Right.
Like that's what you were. You weren't prime time no more.
Mm-hmm.
You was Nick at Night. You know what I'm saying? You was like BET Uncut. Like only certain, like you was only allowed to see you at certain points in time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just, I just really and truly, I don't know, man.
Well,
I just.
Well, the thing is, it's like,
and then to be surrounded by Cowboy fans, that's the shit that's. Oh God. Do you understand, bro? The majority of the people I know, let me explain something to you. This is the reason why y'all need to be careful about what it is y'all pray for. Because when you pray for patience, God is going to test your patience. Every time I pray for patience, he puts me around a new Cowboy fan. Every single time, Lord, Father, I need patience because I'm not where I need to be spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, and I want to serve you. So, Lord, give me patience. How about them Cowboys? I'm like, motherfucker, leave me alone. That song, that old R&B song used to go, you better leave me alone. Get your bags and get the hell on. Like, that's what I want to tell them. But after that 40-0 win, you don't know how many text messages I got from people I couldn't find. Whenever the Cowboys lose, it's almost like they go into witness protection.
Yeah.
You can't find. I don't want to hear them about them, man. They win one game against a team that is literally a step above a high school team. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And these niggas is winning the Super Bowl. They're going 17-0 and they win in the Super Bowl. So I'm telling y'all right now, I don't know what your walk with God is, but if patience is on your path, take a detour. Because if you pray for patience, God is going to send whatever it is your way that pisses you off the most. For me, it's my baby mama and Dallas Cowboys. Oh, man. What else we got, man? Conversations with comedians on Beltway Radio and beyond. Man, we got what is it? Story about Tiny and T.I. Their son King Harris is slammed. King challenged a homeless person with the one chip challenge. Have you ever heard of the one chip challenge, B?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah. All right. For all my viewers who don't know, the one chip challenge is about taking this spicy hot chip and you have to eat it.
Yeah.
And you cannot drink any water or anything like
for like 5 minutes.
For like 5 minutes, you have to eat it, digest it, and pretty much just be there. So he challenged a homeless dude and said, I'll pay you $50 to eat this chip. And when somebody tried to give him water, he refused to let the homeless dude have water. And after the homeless dude ate the chip, he only gave him 20 of the $50. And a lot of people are going ham online because King has had a very checkered past since he's only 19. So he hasn't been an adult for that long. But King has had a very, very checkered past. There was one point in time, I think he was out at a Waffle House and got into it with a patron, and he went to the car and pulled out a bag and held it in front of him. And everybody know when you go to the car to pull something out, more than likely you got a gun or something. And people were like, yo, T.I. need to get his son. You can't be out here in the streets pump faking. Then on top of that, dog, you a rich kid. Like you ain't Tip. Tip grew up in that type of environment. King, there's a reason why you're called King. You know what I'm saying? You're called King because you pretty much was raised like one and grew up like one. You know what I'm saying? So
I would say more like a little bitchy prince, but go ahead.
Damn, don't talk about the man kid like that. I mean,
because the way he's acting, yeah, I can, but continue.
So, others, people were fumed. They're saying T.I., some of the tweets or social media posts was like, T.I. and Tiny need to come get their son. Like, why would you treat a homeless person like that? T.I. and Tiny, get your damn son. Another person says, it's sad watching this child who had a life of privilege self-destruct. Homeless people aren't your entertainment. Better humble yourself. Now, I come from this from a different perspective. I can understand what they're saying. But I think what we need to understand here is the homeless person got something to eat. Listen, wait, no, like let's kick facts. The homeless person got a Dorito. He got a Dorito. And all of these people chiming in on social media, how many of y'all walk past homeless people every single day talking about you ain't got no money, knowing good and damn well you on your way to spend your money?
Huh? My money.
See?
But
Selfish. He needs to pray.
It's not about selfishness, but continue.
Lord, I pray for Brian's selflessness, which means that you need to send him homeless people from the moment he leaves the studio. That's what he needs.
I've given food to those in need, and so that's look. I'm balanced. Let's put it that way.
You balanced? What are you, a seesaw? Listen, man, y'all need to leave King alone. He gave that homeless dude food and didn't have to.
He gave him a chip that was going to kill him. And on second all,
did it?
It could have.
No. I could fly. There's a reason why the song is "I believe I can fly" and not "I know I can."
Well, unless you have the proper equipment, yeah, you could.
It could have killed him. It didn't. Yeah. So on top of that, he got a meal. Now, people are like, "Oh, he gave him 20 instead of 50." He got money. Money and a meal. So technically, this nigga got a chip and chips.
Okay, one, you pretty much bet the guy to eat this chip, survive 5 minutes, and you stated on your video, "I'll give you $50," but you only gave him 20.
He didn't have to give him anything.
But then then technically you can say it's assault.
Assault with a chip?
Yeah.
A chip, man.
Because you denied him proper medication, which was the water.
Let's think about this. When we look at the history of life, a lot of kings are stingy. Okay? Mm-hmm. There was the king in Pharaoh, mm-hmm. Saul in the Bible, mm-hmm. Don. Like a lot of kings are stingy. Mm-hmm. He was breaking the mold of most kings. King could have given him a whole bag of chips.
And definitely would have killed him. But go on.
But King said, "No, take this chip and this 20. And guess what? As a result of that $20 probably gave him all the water he needed, because a case of water is only like $6. So not only do you have a case of water, which will keep him hydrated, good looking out, King, he also has another $14 to go and get him something to eat. And if he divvies that $14 up, that shit can feed him for at least the next 2 to 3 days. So you won't need to eat a chip. Sometimes sacrifice is the best way."
Okay. I like how you're trying to defend
King. I got your back.
Yeah, you can defend him all you want. That's but right. You
got your back.
Make this guy sacrifice his health for one of the most spiciest chips in the world ever created. You deny him any extra incentive that you did guarantee that he would have. And also the fact, like I said before, while eating that chip, while the man was suffering, you continue his suffering by denying him proper refreshment to cool that off. So you can say stingy, I say ruthless.
Easy and NWA now, ruthless. Listen, man, at the end of the day, the dude got $20, which is 20 more than what he had. He got a chip, which.
But here's the thing I think we're totally missing here is why videotape this?
Okay, now that is messed up. Why videotape?
And I bet you he was laughing at the end and enjoying this whatever.
But the person who sit up here and said homeless people are not for your entertainment, that's a lie. You know how funny homeless people are once you come out the club at like 2:00 in the morning? I'm just saying, man. There was one dude, I'll never forget this. We had just gotten back from a club, man, and we was outside. And this dude, this is around the time where 3 6 Mafia came out with Sipping on Some Scissor. Mm-hmm. He remixed the whole song. We came out the club, man. He was like, sipping on some scissor. You ain't got no lisser. You get it to isser. It was crazy. It was like, can I get 20? I know this what you hizzard. It was awesome. It was awesome. And I had a bad night that night because a girl I bought a drink, drank the drink, and then walked off with another dude. I was sad. And that dude, we gonna call you Homeless Harry, because I don't know where you are now, Homeless Harry. But you made my night that night. I went home, heavy balls, but lighthearted. Heavy balls, but lighthearted because of Homeless Harry. You can see, y'all don't see it. When I started singing that song, Brian started nodding his head. Sipping on some scissor, you ain't got no lisser. Give me $20. Don't act like you ain't his her. Tell me that ain't a catchy beat. I'm just saying, man. Sipping on some scissor. You ain't got no lisser.
You'll have that in your hand for the rest of the day.
I know that's what you his her. That shit was popping, dog. Man, it's homeless. Oh man, conversations with comedians on Beltway Radio and beyond. We're waiting for our guests, our special guests, to get in. What else we got to discuss today, man? We're gonna be talking about. We actually got a serious subject that we're gonna be talking about today, and it's all because of the situation that has pretty much been going around on the internet about the young black lady who was in a situation and got hit in the face with a brick. I'm sure everybody knows about this by now. We're going to talk about protection and the responsibility that black men have towards giving this protection to random women. I guess before we get into that, this is the one question I have. America, why do y'all feel the need to go to social media with your issue? Has social media not proven to be a breeding ground for disdain and insults?
You can say Ben do this too. Ben do it.
No, I know. I'm talking about everybody. I'm not just.
Yeah.
I'm talking about. I've never understood that. I've never understood why people feel the need to go to social media, as if these nameless, faceless individuals are going to give you any type of sympathy, or compassion whatsoever.
Well, that's the illusion, I would say. I kind of went through a situation with someone who I disagreed on what this person was doing. He went to social media, try to rally his troops, so to speak. And
rally his troops.
Yeah, because he's
General MacArthur.
Yeah, in a way, and felt kind of he wanted to get his trying to shame me on things. And I felt like, okay.
You can't shame Brian. Brian has no shame. You cannot shame
right.
him.
So, based off of whatever statement, his side of the story, again, they're looking for the sense of, like you said, sympathy. But in reality, it's like, okay, what's the whole story? We don't know the whole story. And unless if you only hear half a story, of course, you're going to get a whole lot of sympathy. But if you get the whole story, that sympathy will be reduced because of the fact it's like there's always you, me, and the truth. So, and usually the truth will come out when you hear both sides.
I don't know, man. When it comes to a lot of things, first and foremost, you can't shame Brian Lyles. And the reason why is because I've been trying to shame this dude into giving a better introduction each episode we have, and he continues to come in with that shameless plug every single time. Hello, hi, that's it. Now today he gave us 2 hellos, which means I may be breaking through. But I will agree with you when it comes to the 2 sides to every story, because the thing that gets me the most is, and I'm not trying to make a joke out of it, but where the hell were you where somebody hit you with a brick? No, I'm being dead ass here. I'm being so serious. A brick That's like somebody getting shot with a bow and arrow. Like, well, hey there, Robin Hood. Where the fuck were you at where somebody had a brick of all? You didn't get a drink thrown at you. You didn't get a cup thrown at you. You got a brick thrown at you? A brick? I'm dead ass, man. Where did you,
unless she's working at construction?
yeah, like you work at Home Depot or some shit? Like, like, did they have a club called Lowe's? And all of like, hey, move the bricks out the way. We'll just have a dance floor right here. How did you get hit with a brick? Do they sell those at Sam's Club? Like, where is a loose brick?
Unless you got some bad walls somewhere. I don't know where you can find a loose
brick. A loose brick, just one brick.
Yeah, one brick.
That's like finding one ant.
Yeah.
Or one roach. Like you.
Oh well, hold on. You can find one roach anywhere.
Okay, one ant. When was the last time you seen one ant?
Usually there's scouts, but not that often.
Not that often.
Yeah.
Like one brick.
Yeah.
Like I don't. And then on top of that,
because of the fact, no, the thing is, this happened over the fact like the guy you didn't want to give this guy your number,
and he hit you with a brick.
Now I understand there was like one person like you think like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago where a guy hit a woman because she refused to give him a number. That was videotaped, that was seen and all that stuff. This here,
I would have videotaped it the moment he picked up a brick. I'd be like, look, y'all, he found a brick.
Right. So
he got a brick. And there ain't nothing but aluminum siding houses around here. He found a brick.
Right. So, but in this case scenario, it's like it just seemed random.
Very random. Like as random as finding a brick.
Right. So, and again, the way I if you really fully go,
and I'm gonna tell you right now, for all y'all, if y'all think I'm going hard, this is marshmallowy Limp Biscuit soft compared to the comments that was under this joint. One person sat there and said it looked like she had another face.
Yeah.
Bro, like I saw crazy comments, like insane comments.
Right.
So,
but again, we don't know the full story, but I know the story about her. And she's done some very, very non-friendly things.
Oh yeah,
again for short
circulating.
Yeah.
Now people don't know whether it's real or not. But there's a video circulating of her being out, slapping some dude in the face, some white dude in the face, and then walking away twerking or something like that. Yeah. So
again, there's a lot to this story, and to this person.
Well, I guess that goes into my next point about the protection, because there's been a lot of discussion lately about protecting women, Black women in particular, that all Black women should be protected. I've actually heard people say that random Black men should protect Black women that they don't know. To that you say what? He's speechless.
Wait, I'm sorry.
I was talking about, where the discussion is now about protection or lack thereof of Black women, and how they should be protected at all costs, even to the extent of random Black men protecting random women that they don't know.
Right.
What is your thoughts on that?
I think in this day and age, it really depends on the person. Most of these men who do dive into situations where it is a high risk nowadays, because they feel like, hey, if the cops aren't here, no one else is doing anything. It is just the fact, it's not just a Black woman, just seeing a woman getting assaulted by a man for no reason, whatever reason that's happening that they're seeing. Unfortunately, yes, there have been incidences where these heroic ventures tragically end sadly. So, and it's usually that person who's doing the heroic thing is injured or dead. I still feel like it's like, hey, something has to be done, but unfortunately, I think the best safe scenario is to call the police. I mean, it's the safest way for you. Let someone else handle it. Mind you, if they're, if you're with, if you had a gang of guys, that's one thing. At least maybe 3 or 4 of you can handle that dude. But by yourself in a scenario where it can end tragically, and especially you, the person who's tragically injured or worse, yeah, I think it's the best case scenario is to end this is call the police.
I have 2 things. First, for the woman who got hit with a brick, you should have never, ever gotten hit with a brick. There's no excuse for a man to hit you with a brick. Mm-hmm. But I would like to leave you with a few words of wisdom. I don't know if this will ever make it to you, but if it does, this is coming straight from my heart. She's a runner. She's a track star. She gonna run away when it gets hard. She can't take the pain. She can't get scarred. She hurt anyone that gets involved. Now, I know that has a song to do with a woman and her emotional issues. But I think the part you should work on is she's a runner. Run. Get your ass out of Dodge. Like, for real. Because this is the thing that gets me about women. I think women need to stop going under this thought process that all men subscribe to that magazine of chivalry. I really think women need to stop acting like men subscribe to this mantra of chivalry, where you can act any kind of way you want to. I'm going to be the bigger man and walk away. Because let's be for real here. There are people in this world whose constitutions are completely in reverse. There are people out there who really and truly believe that possession is 9/10 of the law, which means that gives them the right to steal. There are people out here who honestly believe that telling on somebody is a bad thing. Listen, I've told people this once and I'm going to tell you again. Doug can't go to jail. And the reason why Doug can't go to jail is because, A, Doug, do you know what they do to people with glasses and big lips in jail?
You worried about that?
Hell yes. And on top of that, I'm not a fast eater, so my cornbread is going to get stolen. And I like to wash clothes. I like using fabric softener. So I am literally going to be somebody's bitch in that shit, bro. I cannot go to jail. So if you're not going to do a crime by yourself and you have the audacity, the temerity, the unmitigated gall to include me in on your heist, I'm going to tell you right now, if I got caught, nigga, we got caught. I'm dead ass. I'm dead ass. So we got to get to a point in life where we got to stop playing with fire. We really got to stop playing with fire. And ladies, I'm being so sincere with you about this. A lot of these men out here, especially in this day and age, they do not subscribe to chivalry. And a lot of them don't subscribe to chivalry, not because they weren't ever taught. It's because with all the rhetoric going around, see, let me give y'all a little history lesson. Chivalry was because women were seen as the weaker vessel. Chivalry was because men were esteemed as stronger, superior physically, and as a result of that, we were taught to protect those who were in need. Am I correct?
Yeah.
That's the reason why they say my what? My knight in shining armor, correct?
Yeah.
Ladies, these niggas ain't wearing armor no more. And if they are, it ain't shiny. It isn't. And y'all have got to do honestly what's best for y'all. And honestly, what's best for y'all is to either A, get a man that's going to protect you, because to sit up here and rationalize that a random man should protect you from another random man is crazy, because what it's starting to seem is that, especially in the Black community, it's starting to seem like y'all don't think our lives is worth living. Because to me, that's what you're asking. If you're asking a man you don't know to protect you from another man you don't know, when you could easily just walk away, but you would rather a random man come around and sacrifice his well-being, his freedom possibly, because this is the one thing about fighting or altercations that people don't understand. Forget all of this stuff you see on television, the one-hitter quitters and all of that. You have no earthly idea how far this other individual is willing to go. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back of the sanctuary. You do not know how far this other individual is willing to go. And to sit here and act like it's just going to be a couple of blows thrown or quite maybe just some words spewed or whatever, that is kind of insane to think, especially in this day and age where insanity or the abnormal has become the normal. The reason why I say, ladies, if you're looking for protection, you should get a man is because that's a man's job. Your man's job is to protect you. Not a man's job is to protect you. And I know I'm going to be under fire for this. And guess what? I don't give a damn because no one's life is more important than someone else's. We were all put here by God. We all have purposes. We all have duties. We all have things we need purposes to fulfill. And my purpose is no less than Brian's purpose, just like his purpose is no less than Doug's. So to sit up here and I hear the rhetoric where people are sitting up here talking about black men need to do this and protect black women at all costs and all this other stuff. I think the first level of protection, I think of it like this. When you look at the human body, the first level of protection is not your immune system. It's your skin. Your skin, your epidermis, what you see and wash every day is your first level of protection. Now, if by some chance something breaches that level of protection, then you've got backup protection. But for me, you shouldn't automatically think your immune system and your white blood cells should automatically kick in when the truth of the matter is all you got to do is wash your skin, protect your skin, and you avoid 90% of germs. I say the same thing with ladies and people in general, but it seems like because it's this situation with the woman with the brick and this mantra that black women are not being protected and black men need to sacrifice. Ladies, your first level of protection is avoidance. It is avoidance. Because truth be told, contrary to what may be told, the majority of men are not out there looking to assault or harm women. We really aren't. Now, you got some random cases out there. You got some idiots. Apparently, the bricklayer is one of them. But for the most part, I got to stick up for men in general, but black men specifically. We're not just out here looking for women to hurt and to assault. We're not. But a lot of times, ladies, I've been in situations. I've been in clubs. I have been in restaurants. I've been on the street, man. I've been in family reunions. And I have literally seen women going back and forth with men to the point where it's like she's mushing him. She's all in his face. La, 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 nigga, this. And it's like, what are you doing that for? You do realize that if this man was really and truly to have a no holds barred match with you, he would wipe the floor with you. Why would you test that? Your first level of defense is avoidance. If you see that this man, because this is the one thing that people need to understand, nothing comes out of nowhere. There's always signs. Can we agree on that, B? There's always some sort of indicator. No matter how subtle it may be. Like every fight I've gotten into in my life, I knew the punch was coming. I knew the punch was coming. Period. The first thing I noticed is when that nigga stopped talking. You know what I'm saying? I mean, think about it. When he stopped, that's the first thing they say. When a person is really about that They ain't talking. They are not talking. That right there is an indicator that either A, I need to hit first, or B, duck, block, do something. I say to women the same thing. Y'all got to check out the indicators of stuff, and y'all got to be more situationally aware. See, this ain't going to be a podcast that's going to get a lot of likes and views and stuff like that, because this ain't no joke. This is me being serious, because I have seen too many times, ladies, y'all are in situations, and unfortunately, because of your emotional inclination to yell and get irate and try to match energy, which you cannot match energy with a man, especially if a man decides to take his energy physical. You overlook the signs of who and what you're dealing with. Because the truth of the matter is, no man is going to go back and forth with a woman verbally. No man, I'm sorry, you can ask any man that. No man is going to go back and forth verbally with a woman. Why? Because we know more than likely we're going to lose. There is no man out there that has ever won a verbal altercation versus a woman, unless you're dating Caitlyn Jenner. If you're dating Caitlyn Jenner, then you got a good chance of winning. You want to know why? Because no matter what it says on the outside, on the inside, they are who they are. So so that argument, you're going to win. But if you're dealing with a biological XX chromosome woman, you are not winning that argument. And the majority of men out there are not arguing with a woman, because you know it's not going to turn out right for us either way. So the fact that this man is sitting up here arguing with you or going back and forth with you already shows you how unstable this man is. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, B.
I mean, you're not. I think that I don't know, like I said, depending on the scenario that that you're witnessing, and the person is in dire need of help, the simple solution is for that woman is to leave. Just
absolutely. Just
so. I mean, but again,
shit and bounce.
Yeah, but again, we know certain situations. Certain situations where, like you said, after the altercation, between the heroic person and this boyfriend, and the boyfriend wins, the girlfriend ends up going with the boyfriend anyway.
There you go.
So,
and that's my second point.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies, y'all got to stop sitting up here requiring random men to put their lives on the line mm-hmm. for situations that are easily avoidable just by walking away.
Here's the funny thing. If you think about this, a lot of women don't think the fact that likelihood, if you went with this dude, you didn't become a victim anymore. You became an accessory to assault. A lot of people, they completely forget about that, because if you stayed where you are, if you did not go with your boyfriend to run off because he didn't want to deal with the police after the fact, you just became an accessory to an assault, or let alone maybe murder. And they don't think that.
And I've seen too many situations where brothers have put themselves on the line for random women. And just like you said, B, it turns fatal. And guess what? The person that they were defending don't even stay around for the ambulance. They get right in the car with the very person that they was being defended from and drive off as an accessory. And this is my ploy to men. And especially black men. And I'm going to say it right here on Conversations with Comedians, because I am Mr. Perspective and I don't give a damn. It is not my responsibility to protect no random woman I don't know. It is not my I'm going to say that again. It is not my responsibility to protect a random woman I don't know. I don't give a damn what color she is. Because at the end of the day, what you're telling me is my life is worth less than yours. Because if you're in a situation that you shouldn't be in, And you're asking me to come over here and clean it up for you, knowing that it could cost me my livelihood, my freedom, or my life. And forget the fact that I've got a wife and children or anything, or just the fact of the matter, I got my own hopes, goals, and dreams that I'm going after. And you believe it's a requirement for me to do that? Pretty much what you're saying is that my life is not as valuable as yours. And I have a very big issue with that, because there has been a lot of rhetoric lately on social media, and honestly over the past couple of decades in our community, about how uncovered our women are and how Black men aren't there to protect them. Black men shouldn't be there to protect you. Your man should be there to protect you. I mean, that, you want to know the equivalent of that? The equivalent of Black women in our community saying that Black men should protect them as en masse is like saying, because I'm horny, I should be able to go to any Black woman I want and she should open her legs up to me. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. That's literally the equivalent. And if I was to say that, do you understand how many people will put me in the category with Bill Cosby and R. Kelly? Oh, really? Really? Should I also take a drink from you? No, I mean, really. And it's just amazing to me, the responsibility that is levied against us as Black men when it comes to what it is we should be doing. We should be protecting Black women. No, I should be protecting my woman. Because when I protect my woman, she realizes that there is a level of, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said this: you cannot protect what you cannot control. You cannot protect what you cannot control. There is a reason why we had curfews growing up as children. Why? Because our parents wanted to make sure our asses was in the house when them street lights came on. Because the what come out at night? The freaks come out at night. That's right. So have your ass in this house so I can protect you. I have to control when you come in so I can protect you to the best of my ability. That's the reason why we had curfews. Because trust me, if my mama could have, I'd have stayed outside all day. My mama didn't want to deal with me sometimes coming home from work. Go from Dolores can I to Mama can I. She don't want to hear that. But at the end of the day, she had a responsibility to protect me because I'm hers. What I'm telling you, ladies, find somebody who looks at you and say, you're mine. So when situations like this arise, he has no problem protecting you, and you have no problem, because the one thing I've realized is this, and this goes for both men and women. Anybody who really cares about you won't put you in a position to compromise what you believe. If a man really cares about you, he's not going to cheat on you. That doesn't mean that there aren't men out there who make mistakes. But for the most part, if this man really cares and loves for you the way he should, he ain't going to cheat on you. And it's not because he don't want to have sex with the other woman. It's because he doesn't want whatever repercussions that happen from this moment of infidelity to ultimately affect the person that he loves. I think y'all need to catch that. And this honestly is going to save a lot of women out there some heartbreak and some headaches if they listen to what it is I'm saying. A person who really is down for you will not put you in precarious situations. Which means, ladies, just because you got a man out here who loves you and will protect you at all costs does not mean you run up the tab. That probably went over some people's heads, so I'm going to say it again. Just because you got a man who loves you and will protect you at all costs doesn't mean you run up the tab. I gotta write that shit down. That was dope. Sometimes you gotta pat yourself on the back. Because just because you got a man doesn't mean you go out here starting shit. Just like as a man, just because you got a woman, this woman trusts you and respects you, doesn't mean you go out here and disrespect her or misuse her trust. So all I'm saying is, ladies, you're right. You should be protected, but not by all men, by your man. And in the same sense, you need to protect that man by not putting him in a situation like Shahrazad Ali said this years ago when she was crucified for it. And if you don't believe me, look it up on YouTube. Just look up Shahrazad Ali controversial statements, and it'll be a bevy of them. But she said, sometimes our women will sign us up for fights that we have no idea we in until we in them. And my thing is, this is not to sit up here and say, once again, that she was wrong or that dude who hit her with that brick was right, because I'm still trying to figure out where the fuck you find a brick. But what I am saying is, ladies, y'all have got to start being more cognizant about your surroundings and who you're interacting with. Because like I said, those days of men universally subscribing to chivalry, it seems like those days are dead and they may not be coming back anytime soon. And as a woman, you've got to be more situationally aware. As a man who spent time, who served this country proudly in the Marine Corps, where they teach you how to defend yourself and take life. And then on top of that, knowing how to defend myself prior to that. I am very much still situationally aware. Very much so. And unfortunately, I don't have the luxury of looking around saying, did you see this man hit me? And ain't nobody gonna do nothing. They're gonna be like, no, nigga, did you see that man hit you? And you ain't gonna do nothing? So what I'm telling you, ladies, and like I said, this ain't gonna be one of my most popular episodes. We can get back to the comedy and the jokes and all of the laughter and buffoonery next week, probably. But right now, ladies, especially ladies in the Black community, y'all gotta do better by yourself. Not by yourself as in number one, but better for yourself. And the first thing you got to do is you got to protect yourself by not putting yourself in precarious situations. And then looking for somebody else to bail you out, because number one, that's not fair to yourself because you are important. But number two, it's not fair to that person either because they're important as well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry. I don't subscribe to the protect all Black women. I subscribe to protecting my woman. And I don't think that any man would disagree with me. I protect my woman. And me being here for her is another form of protection. Because I can only imagine what the conversation would be calling from a jail cell. Hey, baby, I need you to come bail me out. Why? Oh, I'm in jail. Why? Because I was protecting this random woman. My woman, random? How random it is that you sitting up here protecting another woman? She random to me. Is she random to you? Is there something you need to tell me? And I'll be like, you know what? You don't need bail. Let me just stay right here until I get arraigned because I don't feel like going having this discussion with you. So my thing is, I just think as a people, we just got to start being wiser about our decisions. We just got to start being wiser about our decisions, man, because what's the point of having a future if you're not around to guide it and mold it? Food for thought. Scrape the plate. Hey, this has been Conversations with Comedians. Sorry about our guest. I don't know what happened. We'll try to connect with her another time and bring her back on. But Conversations with Comedians on Beltway Radio and Beyond, bringing comedy to the conversation. I'm your host, Mr. Perspective, Doug Bennett. We'll be back next Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. For my producer, Be Easy. Hey, we love y'all and we out. Peace.